And I've been amazed at the amount of times that I've been able to come back and win or come back and get a draw from like a truly hopeless, like ridiculous position. You have to just keep doing that next step, finding that next option that's going to increase your chances of getting the outcome you want on the chessboard or in life. All right, guys, we made it to episode 50. So thank you so much to those of you who have joined up to now. Today we're doing something a little bit different. So first of all, I haven't reached 2,000 ELO yet, but I think I will eventually get there. And today we're going to do a reflection on how the journey's gone so far. Specifically, we're going to talk about my rating, both lifetime as well as in the journey itself. We're going to talk about my strengths and weaknesses and obstacles as a player. We're going to talk about what's helped me so far, what I've learned, and what's next. And throughout all of this, I'm going to try to share what I think are the most helpful tips and kind of mindset ideas for you guys as well in your own relationship with chess. So let's jump in. So first, I just want to kind of give you guys an idea of me as a player, because it's taken me a long time to get to 1800, like it's really been just a slow progression over many years. I probably learned the rules of chess when I was like 6. I started playing as a hobby when I was like 14. So, I was terrible at 6. And then here I'm like, let's say I don't know, 800 ELO when I started playing. Really the end of high school. So I played all through high school as a hobby. And by the end of high school, I was like 1200. So that's this main improvement here. I reached 1600 by the end of college, which was 2016. So that's this part of the graph here. And then it's been kind of slower since then. So I was like a 1700 player in 2021 after watching a lot of Daniel Naroditsky videos. And actually I had a peak rating of about 1800 that we'll look at in a second. But that's about this point on the graph right here. So I was like age 27. I started Road to 2000 at around that level of last year, and now I'm more like pretty solidly 1800, and I'm 32. So this is kind of like the rough rating graph for me as a person. There's a lot of you now. There's some people who have picked up chess since COVID, and they really shot up. So, the last 5 years, there's people who started like here and then have gone just like straight up, right? But I'm not one of those people. I've just been playing chess and loving chess for a very long time and just slowly improving through having fun with it and watching cool stuff on YouTube, reading the occasional book, and doing lots of puzzles. So I'll show you a couple more graphs just to get kind of a feel for where I am, but some of these are a little confusing. So like this is my lifetime rapid rating, but I wasn't really playing what were considered rapid games during the first many years of chess. This was when I was watching Daniel Naroditsky videos in 2020. I probably wasn't 1200 to start. I was probably already, 16, maybe 1500, 1600 strength or whatever. But his videos did also help me get much better. And you just see like this crazy ascent. This peak right here was 1788. And I had to stop. You see there's just a flat line here. I had to stop playing because I wasn't feeling well. But I think I would have kept rising, actually. I was probably at least 1800 strength at that time. This is my Blitz lifetime rating. Just to give you guys a feel, you can pause this if you want. That's 1500. I had a peak of around 1800 somewhat recently. Here's my Bullet lifetime. So I was playing a lot of 2-1 back in the day. And so that's where all these little things are. And this range is generally like 1200 at the bottom here to like 1600-ish. And then recently it's been a little bit higher, but I don't really play Bullet that much anymore. So I think like summarizing all of this, heading into the series, I would say I was a 1700 player. That's generally like my strength, but I did have a prior peak of 1800. Now let's talk about the series itself, Road to 2000. So I started this in February of last year, 2025. And after many games, first of all, this is games on the x-axis, not days. We'll take a look at a different graph a little later on. But if we just look at kind of where my rating settled out, I think it's safe to say I was starting at around 1700. Like this is kind of where I was. And then I had a really great ascent here up into 1800 and almost hit 1900. I think I got kind of lucky in a couple of these games, but yeah, I think generally I finished and established myself as a solid 1800 player, like maybe 1850. Also during this time, I had a peak blitz rating of 1800 in October of last year, which was like right around here. And generally, my rapid rating is at least 100 points, usually 1 to 200 points higher than my blitz rating. So during that peak, I wasn't really putting in the volume of rapid, but I was probably like 1900 strength rapid during that time. And that was also right before I played the Botez sisters for the first time, which was really fun. Okay, so the progress I made in the series so far, I would say previously I was a 1700 rated player, and now I say that I'm an 1800 rated player. I think I really solidified myself in this level, like 1850. But there have been obstacles, and we're going to talk about these as well. So for me, the biggest challenge has been lack of consistency. This is the graph with days on the x-axis. So it's been over a year, 400, almost, let's say, a little over 400 days. And yeah, you can see I was not very consistent. So at the start, I had a pretty good run, and I started, okay, I was a little rusty, went down, and then slowly got better. And then I had to stop playing. I'll discuss that on the next slide. During the tail end of this, I think I was starting to play a lot of Blitz. I was starting to watch a lot of YouTube, and then I started doing rapid games again, and then rose up into 1850, and then I had to stop playing. And then when I got back into it, I was a little rusty, came back down, but then started to go back up and kind of solidified in the like 1850 range. So for me, the obstacles, if you've been watching the channel, you already know this, but I have been recovering from chronic fatigue syndrome for the last 6 years, and it's been really hard. And that's why I stopped during these periods. I just wasn't feeling well, and I couldn't play. I couldn't make videos. And yeah, I mean, I haven't been able to work at all like the last several years. Like making these videos is like my small attempt to start to like get back into normal life a little bit. And even then I like can't do this all the time. So it's been very tough. And if you watch the channel, you're probably sick of me talking about the health stuff, but it's impossible for me to separate my graph and my progress or lack of progress from the health issues. So that's for me a sad reality. For some of you, it's probably something else in life that just gets in the way. You get busy. And I mean, I play chess for fun. I imagine most of you just play chess for fun. So chess is not all about just raw improvement. It's not about like flexing your ego, in my opinion. It's about having fun. But I think it's also fun to learn more about the game and improve. So, there's a balance. Like if you just stagnate for a long time at one level and you just play the same openings, like it can start to feel stale after a while. So I think if you're in kind of one of those plateaus and you feel like you want to learn something new, get something fresh, like maybe you learn a new opening, you start experimenting and whatever, it can really just breathe new life into your love of chess. So I think that's that's the energy I'm trying to bring to this series. And I think that's also the energy that I hope people who watch my videos bring to their own chess. So let's talk about my progress over the days. So if we look at this first part of the graph, it took me about like 250 days-ish to get to 1850. So I'm going to say that was a 150 elo improvement over 200 days. It's a little murky of like how you want to define things, because like my previous lifetime peak was about 1800 and now I'm like 1850. But like more where I was living was like the 1700 range, and now I'm really living in the 1800 range. And once I reached that peak, I kind of just had a holding pattern where I've just kind of maintained that, which is also good. It's good I didn't like backslide down too far. So let's talk about me as a player, my strengths, weaknesses. So I think my strongest phase of the game is endgame. That's what I've studied the most. I've read a few books on it. I've done an endgame study course on it. I think that's my strongest phase of the game. I think my calculation is also pretty good in general. I'm pretty sure I've definitely lost some games in the series from miscalculating a tactic or something. But I think like by and large, for like my general rating strength, my calculation is pretty good. And then lastly, I think this is actually kind of, I would say this is kind of my superpower is tenacity and the mindset I have with chess. There's a few things that go into this. Like, it's very hard it's very rare that I get tilted while playing chess. And that wasn't always true. I mean, in the earlier days, I definitely used to get tilted a lot. But I think my strength as a chess player is that I'm playing it not to just like have to win for ego reasons on that specific game. I have a very long-term view of chess, and I mean, I'm kind of playing just for fun and the love of the game. You know, like I'm there just to spar, just to have like a scrap. You know. And I think that's a strength going into a game instead of being fearful that you're going to like make a mistake or something like that. I've also played a lot of poker in my life and studied poker quite a bit. And poker is a very demanding, very difficult game emotionally. For some of you who are really into chess, you might feel like chess is very tough emotionally. I guarantee you poker is tougher. And the reason for that is there's just so much variance. There's so many factors outside of your control where like you can play really well in poker, like do the mathematically correct things and make smart plays against players. And you can still lose just because the cards run out badly for you. So you have to come to grips with that and learn to deal with that. And there was a really good book that I read. I actually didn't finish it, but I read part of it. It's called The Mental Game of Poker by Jared Tendler. And that book really elevated my mental resilience, my mental toughness, and also just my acceptance that I'm not going to win every hand of poker. I'm not going to win every game of chess. And it was really extended more broadly into life. And I think really helped me just be more resilient with the ups and downs of life. I might do a separate video someday on that book and like the main lessons. But with chess, for example, if you're playing the exact same level every time, you're going to win half your games and you're going to lose half. So it's kind of like if you're just flipping a coin. And if you graph a coin flip, it's not like a flat line. It's not like you win one, lose one, it's not like that. Like it's going to be very streaky, you know? So that's one example of you should just expect that with chess. And like sometimes you're going to lose, and that's fine. And you just keep going, you keep having fun, you keep learning. And I'll give you guys one more tidbit. This might make the video a little bit longer, but this was really like one of the core insights from the book that changed my life, really. If you're an 80% favorite to win something, which happens often in poker, you're supposed to win 4 out of 5 times on average, right? Many people will interpret that as I'm supposed to win, period. And that's not the right attitude, because actually your what we call expected value in poker is like 0.8. It's 80%. It's not 1. So actually when you're winning those 4 out of 5 times, you're winning 1 instead of 0.8. So you should kind of feel a little lucky that, hey, yeah, things went according to plan. We got more than our expectation. So that kind of softens things when the 1 out of 5 happens and you lose, because you're like, well, you know, I got lucky those other 4 times to not get brutalized by that. And with chess, that comes up with like blundering, for example, where, you know, what percentage of the time are you going to blunder? Is it 0%? No, right? You have some control over how much you blunder, and you can improve that. But you should expect that you're going to blunder sometimes. So I think that's really helped me deal with the ups and downs. And okay, I just didn't see a tactic here this game. That's fine. We move on, and you just keep moving forward. So through all those poker experiences, I think it's really toughened me up. And when I'm playing a game, it's not the end of the world if I lose like that one particular game. Like I think I have a very long-term view on my rating as well. So it's no big deal if I lose a couple of games and my rating goes down. Like to get to 2000, it's not just a matter of me like focusing harder or something. Like, you know, I'm like an 1800 level player. I need to learn a lot. I need to improve a lot over time to get to that level. It's not about like gaming just like in that moment against that player. Like it's really is about like increasing my skill set to a certain degree. And generally, I think I have a very strong, like, never give up mindset when I play games. And I almost like dig in more. Like if I've messed up or something, then it's like, all right, how can I just ruin this guy's day, dude? Like, how can I like have the crazy comeback right now and just keep putting him to the test, keep making him like earn the win. And, you know, most of the times you might just lose, but sometimes you get that crazy comeback. So yeah, I would say that's my strength as a player. Weaknesses as a player. Openings are, I would say, my primary weakness. I'm trying to work on this. I might get a chess coach soon. It's kind of hard for me to study chess these days because of the health stuff. I have like brain fog and I'm just very limited like cognitively of like what I can do. But yeah, openings have been the weakest part of my game for quite a while. I would also say in the early videos when I was commentating live that my time usage was not very good because I would kind of burn too much of the clock. I was probably also kind of explaining too much and teaching a little too much during the games. But I've gotten a lot better, I think, as the series has gone on. And then I think my third weakness is kind of like middle game ideas that, especially in openings, I don't know. I get to a position where like even if I survive the opening and everything is kind of fine, I might not know the middle game ideas to keep progressing through the game. So I kind of just flounder and then lose. So yeah, but generally I think that a lot of this ties into openings actually, because even the time usage, like if I don't know the openings well, then I have to spend time trying to figure it out. And I'm wasting time in early moves that I shouldn't be. So let's talk about what I did specifically and kind of like what helped. So every day I did puzzles on my phone, at least, some. And most days I played like a 3-2 blitz game for fun. And I think generally, I don't think those necessarily made me better, but I think they kept me sharp. Like I think they kept me to help me maintain a certain level. As you saw from my prior graph, like I had long stretches where I wasn't playing rapid games and really like learning and studying and all that sort of thing. So I think that was actually a crucial pillar to kind of just keep me afloat at my current level. I also read some books. I watched quite a bit of YouTube. We'll talk about these on the next slide. I also started some chess meetups in my city in Santa Monica. And actually, community is very important. This is one of the pillars of chess improvement, according to one of the books that I read that we'll talk about in a second. And I actually saved the chess park in my city in Santa Monica. I'm going to do a video on this in the future at some point. But yeah, if you're ever in LA, you should check us out. You can look at this Instagram page. It's chess.park.sm. That's a page that I made that I've uploaded videos to kind of help foster the meetups that we have on Saturdays. And lastly, I think the Road to 2000 series itself was kind of a key thing as well, because first of all, it's fun. It really inspires me and motivates me to want to get better and keep playing and making videos for you guys. But it also helped me play long-form games of consequence, which I'll explain on the next slide. And it forced me to really analyze those games deeply because, when I'm doing the videos, I'll like analyze the game and then I might do my explainer of like, okay, I was wrong here because of this reason or whatever. And sometimes as I was editing the videos, I would realize like, oh, actually I missed some details there, or actually my logic was not quite right there. And it really forced me to like iron out those kinks and, solidify my understanding, expand my understanding, and all that. So content that helped. So we're talking videos, books, courses. So YouTube, two main things that helped. So I was rewatching Daniel Naroditsky's speedrun during this series, as well as his top theory speedrun. And those are just so amazing. And it still just really hits me that Naroditsky is gone. And it's hard. It's hard to like come to grips with that. But his content will continue to educate people for decades. Like to me, it's truly the best chess educational content I've ever seen, and I think honestly that there may ever be. He was just the best, and his death hit me really hard. And I've been going to some chess meetups locally in my city, and occasionally I meet someone else who Naroditsky was also their favorite, and we get to kind of bond over that, and just kind of know that like I'm not alone, and like we're not alone for those that like truly loved him and loved what he contributed to the world. Second thing that really helped was Igor Smirnov. So his channel is Remote Chess Academy on YouTube. And he has, I think, the best opening videos. Like, they're just so efficient, just boom, 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 boom. Like, you can really cover a lot of ground through Igor Smirnov. Like, he's really excellent. And he has some good positional videos as well. So yeah, between these two guys, if you're watching these two, like, you're gonna be ascending. And I would say this is the biggest pillar. Like, I think this is what helped my chess the most. Okay, books and courses. So I read Logical Chess, great book. If you're like 1200 to 1800, it's a great first chess book. Polgar, this is a Made in 2 book that was recommended by Chess Dojo. Really cool. I really enjoy it. It's made in 2 puzzles primarily. Perpetual Chess Improvement. This is a meta-analysis of what is required to actually improve at chess. It's by Ben Johnson. And just to briefly summarize, there's 4 pillars of chess improvement according to this book. Number 1, long-form games of consequence. Number 2, analyze those games. That's primarily what the Road to 2000 series did for me. Pillar number 3 is tactics and puzzles. And pillar number 4 is community. So just keep that in mind as you're thinking about like what I've mentioned that I've implemented so far in the series. And then last book I read or started to read, I read like maybe half of this, was Reassess Your Chess by Jeremy Silman. Great book on positional chess. I'd say if you're like 1400 to 2000, really great book. Courses. The only course that I really finished was Endgame Studies 101 by I.M. Kostya, Kavutsky, I think is his last name. And this is really fantastic. This really helped my endgame cunning and skills. If you don't know, endgame studies are like constructed positions. So these are kind of like fancy tactics and ideas that, first of all, are super cool, really beautiful, and just like mind-blowing. So they're very enjoyable. I highly recommend. But second of all, they do come up in real games, and I've won games as a result of knowing the concepts from this course. Okay, now let's talk about kind of my main takeaways so far with the journey with regards to chess and chess improvement and having fun. So number 1, learning chess from good teachers is goated. It's just, there's no substitute for learning from someone who can give you like that next step and that next step and that next step that's appropriate for your level. Someone who can look at how your thought process is working, look at your current skill level, and then give you like the next logical thing to focus on. There's just no substitute for that. And YouTube is a great way to get that. I've gotten that primarily through Daniel Naroditsky. Back in the day, I watched a ton of Akobian videos on the St. Louis Chess Channel, GM Akobian. And then some Igor Smirnov stuff, but also people in real life. I don't really have too many friends who are like much better than me to kind of help me with that. But with my friends, I'm that person, like giving them the tips to be like, oh, okay, no, now you want to think about this part or whatever. And that's true in life as well. Like I think there's just really no substitute for learning something from a good teacher. I read a lot of like personal growth books or books on random topics that I can learn from. And same thing with YouTube. Like anything you want to learn in life, you can just go to YouTube or find a book that a really great teacher, an expert person has compiled like amazing lessons on. And I highly recommend that you implement that in your life as well. Number 2, this is a personal opinion, but I think we should approach chess with a sense of curiosity. Every rating peak I've ever achieved in my life pretty much has always come after like weeks or months, a long period where I was just fascinated by chess. I was just deeply curious about the game. I was watching a lot of YouTube, playing games, having fun, just exploring. And then all of a sudden, I wouldn't even be paying attention to my rating. And then all of a sudden, I would be like, oh, wow, I'm at a new rating peak. That's happened multiple times. That also kind of happened during this series. And I think it's just also a more fun way to like interact with the game of chess, as opposed to like, I need to win, I need to get my rating better. Like, no, you should play chess because you love it, because it's fun, and you should be exploring it, you know? Bullet point number 3, openings matter a lot at my rating level. So at 1800 is really where I started to feel like, okay, the openings, my lack of opening knowledge is definitely starting to hinder me. It's definitely making things tougher. But I also think you should learn openings kind of throughout your chess career, just to some extent. You don't want to be learning like super deep, like theory, like, okay, he does this, like super forced lines, because like at 1,000 elo, like people are just doing random stuff. But you should like learn openings because it teaches you how to use your pieces effectively and some example ways to develop effectively. Bullet point number 4, never give up. This is a mindset. This is a spirit, and it's a way of life. Like really, I've had some incredible comeback victories in my chess career online on chess.com. And honestly, like those have inspired me of what is possible. And there are times in my chess games or also in life where like, let's talk about chess, like where I do a blunder or something early in the game, like, oh, that was so dumb. Like maybe I should just resign. Like, and definitely back in the day, I maybe would. But over time, like in those positions, that's when I was talking about, like, I flipped that next year, like, okay, the game's already lost. I have nothing to lose. Like, let's put this guy to the test and let's see if we can just get like some glimmer of hope, something, you know? And I've been amazed at the amount of times that I've been able to come back and win or come back and get a draw from like a truly hopeless, like ridiculous position. And that extends into life. And I think there's a certain like strength that comes from that. And I think that's one of the sources of maybe like wisdom that we can glean from our chess careers or our chess hobby, is that you have to just keep doing that next step, finding that next option that's going to increase your chances of getting the outcome you want on the chessboard or in life. Bullet point number 5, fun provides longevity. So this is, again, kind of my opinion, and this kind of ties in with the sense of curiosity, but I play chess because I fucking love chess. You know, I've loved it for a really long time, and I'm going to continue to play for the rest of my life. And, you know, I imagine maybe once I'm 60 years old, I'm not going to keep improving because I'm just aging at that point. But I imagine I'm going to, you know, keep getting better and better over the next 5 to 10 years or so. And you saw my rating graph. I'm not one of the people who just like picked up chess the last couple years and just became like 2000 elo. Like I've been playing chess as a hobby for 15 years and I've just like slowly improved. And yeah, I'm emphasizing that because I meet a lot of people nowadays who are just like maybe a little bit too rating obsessed, or like they just feel like they aren't a good player because they haven't reached like, you know, my level or 2000 or whatever. And it's like, dude, if you're honestly, in my opinion, if you're 1000 elo, like you're a solid chess player. Like, you know how to move the pieces. You would crush like any random civilian who like doesn't play chess or watch, you know, chess YouTube stuff. And especially if you're like 1400, like you're a solid chess player. And I think people need to embody that more and just have fun. Just keep playing, keep having fun. And I promise you that you will get better over time. You know, just mix in some YouTube here and there. Like if you are at a plateau and at the same exact rating level and you only play the same exact openings, it can get kind of stale after a while. Like you can feel like, okay, you know, whatever, I'm getting kind of bored with chess. That's when it's a good time to like go on YouTube, like look up some new openings or start watching some like Naroditsky speedrun or something like that, where you get new ideas, you get new things to kind of explore in your games. And again, that's just feeding the longevity. So it's like, okay, I'm a little bored. Okay, maybe I'll learn something. And then you have more fun as you're learning. And then that's how that rating graph goes up. Takeaway number 6. I love chess. I mean, I kind of already talked about this, and also everything I just said ties into that. But yeah, chess is just an amazing thing. Like I came to chess actually when I was having a different health issue earlier in my life. I was like 14 years old and I had to have a back surgery, and I was recovering from that one summer. And my mom found this chess program in Santa Monica at like the local libraries. And that's when I got into it. You know, I couldn't do sports. I couldn't do like all these other things that I love to do, but chess is something that we can all do. and it's just such an amazing way to it's such an amazing community building activity. Like you can play a game of chess with anyone of any age. It could be a kid, it could be someone older. And you just get to meet people in your community. That's what we've been doing at the chess meetups at the chess park. And it brings people together. It's a beautiful game. And there's also like a certain amount of respect for, someone beats you or someone's a better player. Like there's kind of a deference to like, wow, I respect that person's like ability and their love of the game. And, I hope that the goal of my channel, the goal of my YouTube channel has always been to spread the love of chess and to help you guys become better chess players, to reach like 1,500 and beyond, like what I would consider strong intermediate players. And I hope that we can really bring that love into like our experience with chess with other people, because that's what it's about. Like, that's why I play. I love the beauty of the puzzles of the game itself. And I also love having a scrap with a friend, maybe a little shit talking here and there, some jokes, and some good times, some surprises. And it's just an amazing thing. Okay, let's also briefly talk about some YouTube takeaways. So first of all, this was a lot harder than I thought to really build a channel. It has been humbling. So we're up to almost 300 subscribers on the channel, which is great. I'm very proud of that. But I think I've made about like 150 videos up to now. So you can kind of do the math on that of like, okay, 300 subscribers, 150 videos. I'm not necessarily like crushing the game. But it's, it's forcing me to grow and learn. So it's been great. I want to give a shout out to my number one supporter, Gigs Taggart. Let me know if I didn't say that right, but Gigs has been the number one commenter on my videos, and he's also not someone I know in real life, like truly just a stranger that we met through the internet. And yeah, it really means a lot when you guys comment on my videos. Like, imagine the opposite. Like, you publish a video out into the ether and like no one likes it, no one watches it, no one comments. Like, you kind of feel like, okay, what am I doing? But when you put something out there and people comment that they enjoyed it, or whatever it may be, it means a lot. It's nice to connect with people through our shared love of chess. I would also love some more feedback from you guys. Let me know, like, what do you want to see? Because I'm 1,800. Many of you are probably like 600 to 1,400-ish range. I'm probably between where you are and a GM, like to some level, and maybe I'm closer to your thought process, or I could understand like your level a little bit better. So let me know, like, what do you want to see videos on? You can always ask me in the comments, or just suggest whatever you want to see more of. Or just, anything that will make my videos better, more fun, more engaging. Just let me know. I'm truly just trying to improve and make things that I love and that you guys love, and that grows and spreads and contributes to the world of chess. So my priorities moving forward, just to kind of summarize where my head is at with the YouTube plan, I'm going to try to make shorter videos. More like 10 to 15 minutes is kind of my target zone, because I think the longer videos, like 25, 30 minutes or more, tend to not get as many clicks and not watched as much, and so they don't do as well. So yeah, that's going to be kind of my main priority. This is my second time recording this video trying to get it into this range, and I think I failed again, but this might just be a longer one because it's different. And then I'm also going to try to make better thumbnails, or like fresh thumbnails each time. For a while, I kind of just used the same framework and the same like template, and I think that got kind of stale and didn't get as many views and stuff. The thing is, I don't really like making thumbnails. I love making videos, so like that's kind of where I'd rather put my attention, but the thumbnails also play into the success of the videos, so I might have to learn to love them. I'm also going to try to be more consistent. I'm planning to try to release like one video a week. So that's my goal. That's entirely health dependent. I've had times, actually this video took me a while to make because I just wasn't feeling that good this past week. So, that's my tentative goal though, is just like one video a week, and maybe I do more, maybe I do less, but fingers crossed. I also want to do some more educational stuff that's like a little more effort. That's also health dependent, but like the subscriber games videos where I give you guys kind of feedback on your games, I love doing that. And I also think that those are like very valuable for educational purposes, but they're just harder for me to do. So we'll see. I also want to maybe do some more silly stuff. You know, like I get a little serious when it's just like me alone in a room. Like I'm maybe serious by default sometimes. So we'll see. I might do like some atomic chess or like something like that. We'll see what we can throw in there. Another YouTube takeaway is just, it's great when you guys, if you share my videos with friends or on Reddit, that really helps a lot. So really appreciate that too. Things I'm avoiding for right now, I'm still avoiding short form content. It's just not something that I'm like super interested in spending my time on, because I love teaching, and I think like it's easier for me to teach in a 10 to 15 minute video and really just kind of like explain a lot of stuff. But we'll see. I mean, maybe later on, if I was trying to really grow the channel and I had the time and energy, it would be worth doing, but we'll see. So what I need your guys' help with, please give me advice. How can I improve my chess openings? Because that's crippling me at the moment. And let me know, like, how can I improve the videos, the thumbnails, the channel in general, like whatever it is, or any other advice just on like my chess journey. Please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. And yeah, and if you guys are enjoying what I've been doing here, sharing the videos with your friends really helps. So like if you have some friends who you want to get them into chess, you want to rope them in, I have the Beginner Strategy 101 course. I haven't finished that yet, but the first couple, like 2-3 videos are like perfect for someone who like only knows the rules and doesn't know any strategies. So like check that out, send that to your friends. And I think the subscriber games playlist is also really great for anyone who's like newer to chess. So with that, I just want to thank you guys so much if you've been a part of the journey or if you're hopping on now. Like this has truly been a pleasure to make these videos. And yeah, this has been a difficult time in my life. Like I really can't do much of anything health-wise. It's hard to even just see friends or do anything like that. And getting the opportunity to make a video like here and there and then put it out and then some people like it and comment and enjoy it, that's been a source of joy and really a pleasure. And yeah, I love teaching, and making these videos is just a way for me to try to do that on a broader scale. And I hope that I can continue to do that. So thank you guys so much for being part of the journey, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.